We mentioned that when we ran the show in a different capacity, but on the same radio station, and also it was posted online, but it wasn't live on any kind of website. Now you can listen to the show live, sometimes on Facebook Live, but also through MixLR. Anyways, let me get to the point here. We went downtown every day to broadcast the show.
At the CKLU studios.
If you know where that is, it's the old Telegraph building, and you'll see a big sign for CKLU in the window.
Corner of Elgin and Elm.
That's right. And a beautiful studio. I really enjoyed going there. But one of the reasons we always liked going there was because it was downtown. And looks like there's some news, some changing incentives to improve the downtown core, and the program that's going to incentivize businesses is getting a makeover.
Cool.
Not sure if you've heard anything about this because this is brand new.
No, this is the first time I'm hearing this.
So councillors in the city council voted in favor of making some changes to the downtown improvement project program, which is meant to promote urban renewal. So to replace the existing plan, there's going to be new strategic core areas, and that's going to promote the commercial potential. And as we both know, you have to start with the foundation, which is the commercial aspect of downtown. So if you can bring businesses to the downtown, everything else will follow. So
definitely,
part of the plan, and this is a 2023 plan, is to focus on tax increment equivalent grants. So not only grants, but also tax deferrals, and also interest-free loans up to $250,000 for businesses that want to move into the area.
That's huge.
Exactly, yeah. So this amendment would be directed to explore a loan forgiveness option for startups who are emerging from regional, national, international startup or business incubators seeking to establish their first permanent office location as part of the downtown Sudbury Tenant Attraction Program.
Nice.
So that could be huge, $250,000 in helping the business, and it could also help the downtown. Because when you're downtown, like we experienced, when you're downtown, you want to use downtown services.
Definitely. And
that kind of, it grows, and these businesses can be complementary in a way.
100%. Downtown could use, some initiatives, and this sounds like it might be able to, incentivize some businesses to set up shop there. And the pandemic hasn't helped anything because a lot of people are working from home, and downtown was already suffering. So a lot of the office spaces and things were no longer needed from some organizations because their employees now were able to work remotely. So I'm sure that wasn't easy for a lot of businesses. And here's a good initiative to start to rejuvenate and put an injection into downtown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this might sound a little complicated, just the program, like how to access it and things, but there's so many resources.
Okay.
Maybe you can tell our viewers what they should do if they want to look into this, if it applies to them, where they should get started. You might be one of the best people in Sudbury.
Well, you know what?
It's
gotten slimmer and slimmer. There's less and less places to be able to go, but the city has what's called the Regional Business Center, and you go there, and they should have everything you need to access any program, any funding that you might be eligible for. They would know, because they also have a lot of these funders that are also kind of in the same environment as them, office space and things. So you got to go down there and speak with a professional and figure out whether or not there's something for your business. I would say that's the best place to go. There's Regional Business Center. You can check them out online first, but then go in person as well.
Mm-hmm. In your opinion, what do you think one of the things holding back businesses from opening downtown branches or offices? What's holding them back?
Well, first of all, there's not a lot of businesses opening because it's not the greatest climate to open a business these days. It really, business has always been hard to open. There's always a lot of barriers.
Sure.
But because of the pandemic, there's a lot of unknowns. It's become almost like when you start a business, you have to think, okay, what if a policy changes or there's a new law? How will that affect the new business idea I have? What if minimum wage goes up, which I ended up on the unexpected end of, and it did impact my business very negatively. What if there is an ice storm and all of the electricity goes out for a week? How will that impact my business? So geographically, what are the situations, what are the possibilities that could happen? Now we have the pandemic. What if there's a new variant that comes out that we're in lockdown again? How will that impact my business? So that is very, my heart goes out to anybody who's opening a business these days. And it takes a certain kind of a person to be an entrepreneur, but now it's going to take an even more resilient, persistent kind of person to take on something like that. So
absolutely
not easy.
No, and I think we talked about it earlier this week or late last week. And that was the homeless encampment in downtown, and that has to have an effect. That has to have an effect because they've already talked about the encampment being broken up for over a year.
Yeah,
and we're still kind of struggling with that. There's still fewer than 10 people, but people hanging on and really not wanting to leave.
For sure.
Feeling entitled to stay in Memorial Park. So that has to have an effect on downtown.
And downtown, like a lot of people say, there's an aspect of it that their safety is in question, and that's one of the reasons there, possibly. I know when I had my businesses downtown, there were just people that would just kind of loiter, I guess you can say. And you can't constantly be saying, here, get out of the way or move along, because you're constantly policing that yourself.
Right.
And so it's one of those things that when everyone congregates and people that maybe don't have a place to live, the homeless, they're going to mainly go towards downtown where they can get all the amenities that they need and whatever, and they're not in someone's yard. Because other than that, they'd more than likely be in somebody's yard outside the city. So here's kind of, more commercial city-owned spaces and things that they can navigate through and live there.
Yeah, downtown is complicated. And on top of this, we have the arena now, competing with what will be the KED project, Kingsway Entertainment District.
Definitely.
And that just enters a whole new... Is that going to completely remove the bottom from the downtown core?
Could.
Because the reason many people go downtown is for the arena. So is moving the arena for the Sudbury 5, Sudbury Wolves to the Kingsway, is that going to completely remove incentive for many people to even go downtown? And could that further gut...
That's the question.
...the downtown area?
100% the question. So I think... We don't have the solutions for that, for sure. I think it's going to be an ongoing conversation, and it's not only affects the economy, it affects sports too, like how people, would an arena make more sense out on the Kingsway as it would downtown? That still isn't resolved, and we won't know until if you did build the arena on the Kingsway, and then you kind of do the research of how it was compared to downtown or whatever.
Yeah, until we do it, there's really no way to know.
We're not going to know, really. But a lot of studies have been done in other markets where people could say, that it doesn't look the greatest, but downtown has issues as well. So it's going to be an ongoing, we're going to have that discussion ongoing right here as well, and hopefully include people's comments in Facebook, and, it's a conversation we're going to be having with the community right here on Sudbury News Talk.
It should be us.
Ongoing.
It should be us who, the community, I'm not speaking about you and I, AJ, but it should be us who are kind of most engaged, most interested in the outcomes, especially when it comes to something as big as our downtown area.
For sure.
There is no downtown New Sudbury. There is no downtown South End, No. There's only one downtown. So is it worth the risk? You kind of have to ask yourself of completely removing that by the arena moving. So this is something we've been talking about for literally years.
It is.
It feels like we're in a perpetual, state of questioning, because KED, if you had told us in 2017 the KED wouldn't have broken ground, I don't think we would have believed you.
Definitely not. But that's a good segue into our Sudbury sports talk, though.
Absolutely.
Because this is going to be an ongoing conversation for a long time. The arena, will it ever get built? And still, where is it going to be built? Still is not cemented.
Nope.
In our community.